Now, from Wish TV, this is The Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank. Coming up tonight, the state tournament rolls on with regionals in boys basketball. In the Coach's Corner, we look back and celebrate a state championship for Lawrence North girls basketball. Plus, a Central Indiana native is making history on the pitch for the Indy 11.
It's always been a goal ever since I was young, but for it to happen this fast, it's kind of just blown me away.
Let's all celebrate a new Zone Extra right now.
Good evening and welcome live to the Zone Extra. I'm Andrew Chernoff. What a great week of high school sports as the boys basketball tournament rolls on, plus so much more happening across the state. In the Coach's Corner, for the second time in 5 years, Lawrence North is a state champion in girls basketball. Head coach Stephen Thomas and a pair of Wildcats are here to talk about the title. Plus, a Central Indiana native is already in the record books for Indy 11. You will not want to miss that special story. Plus, we've got our latest edition of Ask the Commissioner with Paul Neidig of the IHSAA. Now let's take a look at this week in high school sports. Saturday was regional day in boys hoops, and at Southport it was Mount Vernon taking on Brownsburg. Bulldogs get on the board first. Brandon Sharp sinks the three to get things going. Marauders respond, though, immediately. Future Boiler Luke Ertl, he's pretty good right here. Knocks down the three. He had a team-high 19. Brownsburg had a 4-point lead before Mount Vernon goes on a 28-0 run in the first half. Aiden Doherty, the triple. Marauders win big, 74-40, the final. In another 4A regional at Southport, Mooresville was taking on Lawrence North. Pioneers looking for an upset. Tied in the first quarter, Mooresville's Michael Irving drops in the three. Pioneers up three, but Mooresville had trouble controlling the ball. Watch this. Ends up in the hands of Xavier Robinson, who throws it down. Wildcats up one. Robinson, of course, the all-time leading scorer in Wildcats history, and he just keeps adding to it. Another dunk. Wildcats roll into semi-state for the second straight year with a 38-point victory. So let's take a look at the matchups for the Class 4A semi-states. In the South at Newcastle, Terre Haute North faces Lawrence North in the first game of the day. Jeffersonville takes on Mount Vernon immediately after, and then the winners of those games will square off Saturday night with a state finals berth on the line. Meanwhile, here is the 4A semi-state matchups in the north half of the bracket at Elkhart. In game one, top-ranked and defending state champ Fishers takes on South Bend Riley. That is followed by Homestead facing Crown Point, with the winner of those two battling on Saturday night for a spot in the state finals. Meanwhile, in Class 2A at Lebanon, it was Triton Central taking on University. Fourth quarter, Trailblazers up two. Blake Gray drives and gets the finish. That pushes the lead to 4. Triton Central staying close, though, down 3 now. Silas Blair scores inside, and it's a 1-point game. Trailblazers trying to get some separation, though. Josh Henderson attacking right here. His floater, nothing but net. University goes up 3 and holds on to win 44-43 for its first regional title in 12 years.
It means everything for us. I mean, we worked extremely hard. Like I said, we don't have a lot of the resources that the other schools have, so we really have to be different in our approach and how we do things. So I'm just proud of our kids.
Winning for us is normal. We expected to come out here and win, so it's one of those things that you don't really think twice about. You kind of come out here, you just do what you're supposed to do. But it's unreal. We never done this before, but we're going to enjoy it while we can.
I'm just taking it in a little bit right now, but we got to get back to work right away. That's all I'm focused on right now.
In Class 3A at Lebanon, it was Crispus Attucks facing off against Northview. Knights looking to get on the board first. Freshman Quinn Lewis lays it in. Northview up 2. Attucks is down 3, but not for long right here. Ajalon Jones ties the game at 6. Later, Tigers diving on the loose ball right here, and here we go. Jones again. This time, how about the layup and the foul to give Attucks a 4-point lead? They go on to win by 11. The Tigers are regional champs for the first time since 2019. And in girls basketball, congrats to Maya Makaluski of Hamilton Southeastern, who yesterday was named Indiana Miss Basketball. The senior averaged 22 points and nearly 7 rebounds per game this season. She led the Royals to a 27-1 record along with the regional title. Makaluski will head to Bloomington next season to play at IU for head coach Terry Morin. Moving to gymnastics, where the season came to a close last weekend with the state finals at Worthern Arena in Muncie. And congratulations to Bishop Dwenger out of Fort Wayne, which won the team state title. The Saints finished a little more than a point ahead of runner-up Valpo. Meanwhile, Homestead junior Jillian Krieger won 2 individual state titles, claiming the all-around championship and also tying for the title on the uneven bars. Time for a break, but we have much more ahead on the Zone Extra. Up next, we're celebrating a girls basketball state championship for Lawrence North. Head coach Stephen Thomas and a pair of his Wildcats are here for a conversation. And still ahead, we head to the pitch where an Indianapolis native is making history with Indy 11. Stay with us. The Zone Extra continues after this.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank. This is the Zone Extra Coach's Corner.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra. Last month, Lawrence North won the girls basketball Class 4A state championship for the second time in program history. We want to welcome to the Zone Extra Wildcats head coach Stephen Thomas, along with seniors Kaya Hurt and Jamaya Thomas. Hey, congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Anytime. Okay, so let's talk about it.
Absolutely.
What does it mean to be a state champion? What does it feel like? First time as a head coach?
First time as a head coach, just surreal. Couldn't be prouder of our program, our group, our community. So to be able to share that with them and everybody and the support that we've had, it was an incredible experience.
Kaya, take me back to that moment. I mean, we'll talk about the game in a second, but what's been the reaction like at school since a couple of weeks ago?
All you really hear is like, congratulations, like y'all really did it, like y'all really earned it.
Jamaya, you know the history with basketball at Lawrence North. It's a really big record book. It's a really big history book. To now be a part of that as obviously a state champion, has that all sunk in yet?
Some of it has. It's just an honor and opportunity and a blessing just to be in those history books, considering like the great basketball history at our school.
Jamaya, what made this group so special?
Just our connection with each other and our willingness to buy in to what we really wanted to do, and just getting everybody on board, everybody doing their part, and that's what really special is about this group. We're
going to show some video from the state championship game when you guys won, and Kaya, that moment right there, even when you're tipping off, playing in Gamebridge Fieldhouse, what's that feeling like as a high school athlete playing in that place?
Like Coach Thomas said, it just feels surreal. Like surreal, you just gotta sink in, and you know you have a game to play, but like Coach Thomas always says, which one are you? Are you nervous or are you excited? And we all just came in, and I feel excited because, you know, nobody really gets the chance to actually play in this game or be in this court and actually like show people what you have to bring.
When you're in there, does the court feel bigger? I mean, just knowing all the crowd around you?
Yes, it did.
Stephen, this group in general, I mean, obviously you're battling a little bit of nerves every time you get in there. When did you realize this team was in a groove and was finally getting back into the swing of things after the tip-off? I'm assuming it may not have been, but it's a little nerve-wracking that first time.
Absolutely. You just hear their voices. You can start to hear them in the conversations that they were having and how, you know, before in the locker room they were their normal selves and loose and laughing, and these two, and especially, you know, Jamaya is the more vocal of the two of these, you know, amazing senior leaders that we had. But I mean, it just seemed as if this group had just, like Jamaya said, had connected and were on the same page and had one goal and one mission, and they were going to do it together. And so to be able just to soak it in, and we got there early and just tried to take in the whole, you know, 50th anniversary experience that the ISHA did such a phenomenal job putting together. But to be able just to get there early and settle in and enjoy the moment and have our normal conversations was incredible.
Jamaya, I want to show now some video of the celebration, and Do you even remember any of the celebration as soon as the clock hit 0?
I don't really remember a lot. I just remember looking up at my mom, and she looked like she was about to cry. I don't know who wanted it more, me or her, but that's really what I remember. I just remember hugging my teammates and just celebrating.
To have that support, whether it's your mom or the community, I know Wildcats fans packed that place this whole season for you guys. What was that like, just to have that support all year?
It feels more like home. It brings you more comfort knowing that you have so many people behind your back willing to go to war for you on or off the court.
Kaya, that moment right there when you all are surrounding that state championship trophy, what was it like to finally put your hands on that state title?
It felt great. Like, I don't know, it's like a dream come true, really. Like, we always wanted to, get to state and win the championship, so we finally got to do that, and it felt great.
So we've already talked about what made this group special. When did you realize this group was special?
Each and every one of these individuals as individuals was special. We knew that, and watching them grow from our feeder program and from middle school on. But I feel like our tough schedule really had knocked us down throughout the season, and to see them rally around each other and lift each other up and support each other. And then you talked about our community, and we really just bought into the family mentality of we're going to take the ones that are with us when we're down and the ones that are with us when we're up, and we're just going to continue to chop wood. And these ladies did a phenomenal job of buying in, not into what we as a staff and as a coaching community wanted them to do, but really bought into each other and loving each other.
And the numbers back it up. I want to look at some of the numbers from you guys this year. Obviously the state champion, second state title in program history, 19 wins, 61 points per game. I mean, impressive numbers. The defense, you see it there, doing good as well. When you look at that, obviously you circle the state championships, but offense or defense, pretty impressive on both ends.
Absolutely. Dynamic athletes with our team and creative ball, with the ball and being able to make creation for each other. But the biggest thing that I've been proud of them on is their effort on the defensive end. You hear it all the time. Coaches, great coaches, say defense wins championships. So our ability to control the defensive end was a special recipe or a special piece of the recipe for us to be successful.
Kaya, what will you remember most about this year's Wildcats team?
I will always remember our energy that we always put into the practice, locker room, games. We would be busting music out loud, in the locker room, just having fun. I will always remember that. Okay,
so what was the song of choice in the locker room? That's the big question.
Okay, actually, we didn't play music in the locker room because we started that.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about, sectionals and stuff. I'm just talking about beforehand,
Oh, before?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, me and Naja's favorite song is What You Know About Me by Gorilla. We like that one.
So just get setting the tone for the game, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. This has been a fun group. And like I said, it's great to coach them as athletes, but the people, the character, the individuals that we had to be able to bring all of them in for the common goal, and that's to win a state championship, for that to come true, and just to see them being able to walk around their community proud, just couldn't be thankful for more as a head coach.
Jamaya, real quick, what's the legacy that you hope this team has at Lawrence North?
Just willing to do whatever it took to bring the state championship back home, and I hope that everybody remembers us.
Mission accomplished. I think Lawrence North will remember this Wildcats team for years to come. Hey, congratulations.
Hey, thank you very
well
much.
deserved.
Appreciate
And
it. Thank you.
Keep it going. Obviously, the program's setting the tone for next year, thanks in part to what you guys accomplished this year. So congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Still ahead on the Zone Extra, we head to the pitch. He's the youngest member of the Indy 11 to ever score a goal for the club, and he's right here in Central Indiana. A story all soccer fans will not want to miss. That's still ahead. Plus, we're talking about the high school basketball boys tournament and girls tournament format with IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig of the IHSAA. All that when the Zone Extra returns.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra. There's a lot of young talent on the Indy 11 roster this season, and one of those players to watch is from right here in Indianapolis. A 19-year-old who has already made history during his short time with the Boys in Blue. Indy 11 midfielder Logan Neidlinger will be the first to tell you that dreams can become reality.
It's definitely surreal. It's just hard to think that a kid from Indy can make it.
The Indianapolis native is getting ready for his first full season as a member of the Boys in Blue.
You know, growing up with Indy 11, it was always a goal to grow up and eventually get to this point.
Last October, Neidlinger signed a professional contract with Indy 11. The contract came just 2 months after he made club history. In August, Neidlinger became the youngest player to ever score a goal for Indy 11 when the then 18-year-old found the back of the net in a match against New Mexico.
I know the guys behind me support me and have confidence in me, so as soon as I got the ball, I just thought shoot, and you know, it was a great feeling looking up, seeing how proud my parents were. So yeah, it was good.
Everything that he's achieved up until this point, he's deserved it. He's worked relentlessly, worked really hard. Humble kid, wants to learn, wants to grow. Future's bright.
The cool thing for Neidlinger is he grew up watching Indy 11. In fact, his family had season tickets during the club's inaugural year. And now getting a chance to play for the Boys in Blue is truly a full circle moment.
My parents always say, like, it's crazy how fast things have changed and how fast you've grown up.
Head coach Sean McCauley credits the older players for working so well with the now 19-year-old.
Sometimes, you know, these young players can go through a period where they need an older player to put an arm around them and say, hey, don't worry about that. And we've got them senior players in the squad who are really good.
They've taught me a lot about what it takes to be a pro, and you know, that's kind of what I've learned and taken into this year.
He's going to have a great season. Do not forget, Wish TV's got a brand new sports app. Get out your phones right now, scan the QR code on the screen, and download the completely free All Indiana Sports app. You can find more on this story, plus all things Central Indiana High School sports and so much more. Get the All Indiana Sports app today. Time for a break, but still more to come here on the Zone Extra, including the latest installment of Ask the Commissioner with Paul Neidig of the IHSAA.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra. Now it's time for Ask the Commissioner. Each week we take one of your questions to IHSA Commissioner Paul Neidig and bring you his answer. So here's this week's question. With this being the third year of the single game basketball regionals, what has the overall reaction been to the change in the state tournaments?
Well, the reaction around the tournament change from a few years ago has been really positive from our seat. And I think all we have to do is look to every team who won a regional championship. That's double the number of champions that we've had in the previous year. And then, you know, while that semi-state week is tough, but teams have an opportunity to prepare for that. And it's 2 games, and it ought to be tough. I mean, the prize in front of them is a state championship, and you got to bring your best. And to bring your best for 2 games right before you be able to play in the state championship game, we think brings a lot of excitement to the sport. Fans seem to enjoy it a lot, and you know, we've actually implemented that process in other sports. Girls volleyball, we've done it. And we'll continue to look at opportunities for students to advance through the tournament, but still have to crown that state championship in a meaningful way.
Thank you again to the Commissioner for joining us. So here's how you can submit questions. Send us a tweet using the hashtags #TheZoneExtra and #AskTheCommish, and your question could be used on a future show. That's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for watching the Zone Extra. Be sure to tune in again next Thursday night for a brand new episode. For even more Central Indiana High School sports coverage, be sure to download the All Indiana Sports app. Just scan the QR code right here. Tonight, we'll leave you with a live look of Gainbridge Fieldhouse. That's what the remaining 32 boys basketball teams will be seeking to play in next week. Again, this Saturday, semi-state, the state finals next Saturday. Have a great night.